Hi there, today we're going to have a look at the Easton ACE new 4mm stainless steel points that I've just purchased, and I'm going to basically swap out my screw-in insert points. So why am I doing it? Well, there's nothing wrong with the screw-in points at all. Nothing's happened to them. They've been really good. They've allowed me to easily swap out the points by screwing them in and changing the different point weights at the front, but after a while you find yourself sticking to the same point weight, so there's no need to keep unscrewing them, screwing them in again. And what does happen though sometimes is that they will come loose. Now, no matter what you do, whether you put a bit of hot glue on the sort of screw-in threads, or if you just put a little bit of string wax in there and tighten them up, they will stay taut for quite a long while, but eventually they will kind of come loose. So obviously with a one-piece point, that's not going to happen. You're going to have no problems, so it's something else you don't have to worry about. The other thing is that the insert points and the screw-in points are no longer made by Easton. In the new Easton 2021 catalogue, they no longer feature. If you have a look here on the new Easton catalogue, you'll see that they just show only the new 4mm points. Whereas if we go back a year and we look in the older catalogue, you can see the other points that are available, such as the screw-in points and the inserts that I've got at the moment, which today I'm going to remove. So first of all, let's have a look at and compare the differences between the points. Right, so here's the packet that the points come in. You can buy these in singles, but I bought them as a 12, so they came in the packet. So if you want them for ACEs just like me, there are certain numbers 1 to 4 for these. As you can see here, number 1, target point for all ACEs. So if you're going to order them for ACEs, number 1 is all you need. Now previously also there were different points, break-off points for different sizes, from the lower end to like, I think it was 60 grains up to 130 grains. They now have this one, which is an 80 to 130, so you've got a lot of play in these. You can do a lot with these. But there is, and if you look here right at the bottom of the current catalogue, there is a tiny note right at the bottom that does say there's a point for a 60 to 80 grain point. Now I haven't found these. I don't know if they're the advanced ones, but there should be some available if you need a really light point weight. Okay, also to see here, country of origin is South Korea, so they're actually made in South Korea. But let's have a look and compare them. So here's the new one. It looks really nice, and I really love the darkened kind of I'm going to say grey black kind of smoky colour on them, really. Yeah, nice point on them as well. Obviously we've got the full length is 130, so 120, 110, 100, 90, and then 80 if you basically took off all of the end parts. So this is where you need to be breaking them off in between these sections, okay, and then gluing them in. So I've got a couple of other older insert examples here. So lengthwise, they're obviously not as long as the point inserts would have been going down into the shaft. Because these two are the same, but you can see they're longer because the point weights are different. Can you see here? This was the heaviest one you could actually get, which was a 51 grain point, which I had on mine. Then a 59 grain insert, so totaling 110 grains, which was the maximum you could have if you used an insert point. Whereas on this one we've got the lighter weight insert here. And what used to happen was you could just unscrew them. So if I unscrew them, if you've not seen these before, that is the insert part that you would buy, and then there's the point that would actually screw into them. Now they were a brilliant idea. Obviously, if you were using ACEs for say field shooting and you wanted to change the point, or you wanted to play about with different points or different point weights, then it was a really good way of dealing with it without having to actually, you know, unglue them and take them all out, and sort of re-glue in inserts. So it was a really good idea, but obviously now, as I said, you can't buy them anymore, so stocks will run out and then you'll have to look on the second-hand market for these inserts. So that's also another reason why I'm changing over to these new points, because the weights are added and subtracted from the back end as opposed to the front. So as you can tell here, that the magnetic screwdriver, as you can see, that when you go up a higher a weight, then they added more point to the front. So that was okay, but obviously you'd have to move your clicker, or you might have to cut the shafts down again, things like that. So it was a little bit annoying. There was nowhere else to sort of put the weight on the front without sort of extending it. Now some with their hollow points, they do sometimes fill them to sort of make up the different point weights, which is true of my Easton Triumph points. Some are hollow and some are filled in. So that's another reason why I've gone to these, because we're sticking to one length point sort of going forward on these. Obviously the drawback of these is once you've taken off the back grains 10 at a time, there's no going back. You can't really glue, you can't really solder or sort of glue those back on again. So once you've taken those off, you better be sure that that's the weight that you need. So it's worth kind of going to your previous weight that you had, or going a slightly heavier and then seeing how they shoot. Maybe do 3 at a time, and then you can always break more off, but you obviously can't put them back on. So just keep that in mind. So I've got an ACE shaft here where I've just taken out the point, which was one just like this on this insert. So I just wanted to see how these kind of inserted really into the shaft. Obviously the insert goes in, it's quite tight because it's a bit longer than the other one, so it goes down quite a long way. Whereas the new one just slides in. It's nice and loose actually, slightly looser, or more loose than the other one, because it gets a bit tight at the top there on the insert, but it is nice and loose to slide in and glue, and that's what it's going to look like. Which to me, let's put this on white so you can see. It looks very nice. I think the colour is fantastic, to be honest, and it's slightly bulbous, and sort of comes out further than the actual end of the shaft. So this point is really going to protect the shaft going into whatever it hits, hopefully a target and not wood or something else. But yeah, it looks really good. I wonder if the colour's going to wear off at all. We'll see. But yeah, it looks really good, and I'm quite glad I made the investment to actually swap over. I am going to cut these down a little bit before I glue these in, but I'm not going to bore you and glue these in today on the video. I just really wanted to show you the new Easton 4mm points, in case you were looking at getting some as well. Quite short supply in the UK, only a couple of places kind of had them at the moment, but they are slowly coming into stock into more places. Anyway, that's the Easton 4mm HL target point number 1, break-offs 80 to 130 grains. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. See you soon.